I'm standing next to a massive hole in the middle of London. This is going to be the basement and foundations of a 34-storey new skyscraper that's going to rise above my head in the years to come. It's experiences like this that show you just what goes into building in the middle of a major city and the extent of the engineering that's required to make something as incredible as a skyscraper really happen.
Rising from this underground melting pot of concrete, steel and precision engineering, the 170-metre 40 Leadenhall Street will make a dramatic impact on the city's skyline and find itself as the first in a new series of skyscrapers that's trying to entice people back to the workplace in the wake of COVID-19. With a striking design, prime location and green credentials, this could just be the landmark new development London deserves, and the one it needs right now. The square mile city of London has seen more than its fair share of history, weathering wars, crises and fires, all while standing as a global hub for business through the centuries. But the period of 2020 and 2021 ranks among its most surreal chapters. The changes of Brexit blending with a pandemic that's forced people out of their workplaces, impacting companies and the buildings they're in.
There's no question that the normally bustling city of London has been much quieter over the past year. But it's not just the easing of restrictions that's going to change that. Post-COVID, many of us are going to need a much stronger pull back to the office. And that's where developments like this and this concept of destination offices that offer all kinds of things to their users is going to really come to the fore.
40 Leadenhall Street is one of the biggest buildings to ever get planning permission in the City of London, rising from 14 to 34 storeys with 2 basement levels. The new complex in the heart of the insurance district will extend over 84,000 square metres of space, mostly dedicated to new offices with retail units at street level. While its size will automatically make it a prominent feature on the skyline, it's the building's design that will ensure it really stands out. Conceived by Make architects, 40 Leadenhall's styling was inspired by the Bauhaus movement, as well as the skyscrapers that rose across Chicago and New York in the early 20th century. Fearing the dark canyons that might be created by this new tall building phenomenon, American cities introduced step-back rules that would ensure daylight could reach down to street level. The measure also enabled buildings to better manage wind loads, meaning they could be built taller. Countless skyscrapers emerged in this style throughout the 1920s and 30s, but the most notable was undoubtedly the Empire State. This neo-gothic style of architecture also influenced DC Comics' vision for Batman in the late 1930s, and many people have likened the design of 40 Leadenhall Street to the franchise, leading it to become dubbed Gotham City. It consists of several stepped blocks that all fit with the surrounding massing, with the highest point to the north and the rest gradually terracing downwards towards the River Thames.
The clever staggered design allows it to blend in with surrounding tall buildings while preserving protected views or sightlines of St Paul's Cathedral, a rule that almost every other tall building here has had to consider.
Sitting on the western edge of the site, carefully protected and restored throughout the works, the Grade 2 listed 19 to 21 Billiter Street building will become part of the new development. Sustainability and energy efficiency are also priorities. Carbon emissions are set to be around 30% lower than current regulations, while the new building's due to meet several key energy standards. Achieving all this on such a tight site in the middle of one of the world's biggest cities is not easy. Rising to the challenge, main contractor Mace Group is working alongside WSP, Make Architects and development manager Nuveen on the project. Due to the building's varying height, 2 cores are being constructed, one at each end. These form the central part of each section and give structural stability while housing the elevators and other services. Both are side core arrangements, which helps to create a large open floor plate, but the 2 cores are being built using different methods.
What made you make this enormous excavation to start with?
So we're currently bulk excavating the site, which is around 40,000 cubic metres of ground to take out. The excavation is all relative to the build strategy that we've got. where we've got a top-down construction on the north core, which is the higher of the two towers, and then we've got a blue sky bottom-up build strategy on the south core.
That top-down approach allows the team to work in two directions simultaneously, with the floors above ground built at the same time as the basement levels. Under the more conventional bottom-up method, the lower levels are built first and work gradually proceeds upwards. This huge excavation on the site really demonstrates the challenges of building in a dense city centre. With so many large buildings all exerting pressure on the ground, an excavation of this size would take away some of the earth that their weight is resting on. It would interrupt their so-called angle of incidence. To avoid any risk of buildings collapsing, the team first dig and pour a series of overlapping concrete columns in the ground, known as a continuous flight auguring or CFA approach, and then cap them with a solid concrete beam, imaginatively called a capping beam. Only then do they begin to excavate the site to construct the basement. These enormous red steel struts help to push back the pressure of the surrounding building's foundations before the solid concrete basement floors are installed. To speed up the process and make construction easier on a restricted site, prefabrication is being used extensively, forming a key benchmark for future Mace Group projects. This is where building elements are manufactured under controlled conditions in a separate facility before being transported in and assembled on site.
How is prefabrication playing a part in the project?
So we've used offsite manufacturing as our key driver around achieving spatial fit and the delivery and build sequence.
That really helps in terms of a tighter site of this, being able to lift things in pre-made.
Correct, yeah. So what we've fundamentally changed our approach to the early stages of design. So working with Make and WSP, we've managed to develop a design that's fit for manufacturing and really use that strategy with the 3D model and the digital technology to deliver our prefabrication elements and the major components for the building.
Technology has played a critical role in keeping the project on track and error-free, even during the pandemic. Mace Group and Nuveen are using information modelling and Autodesk's all-in-one BIM 360 software to plan and coordinate the construction of the building digitally. This has helped to strengthen collaboration between the design and build teams. Virtual 3D models of the entire project allow the team to stay a step ahead of the physical build, improving efficiency and ensuring costly mistakes are avoided.
For people watching who maybe don't know about information modelling or haven't done it before, conventionally you would have coordinated the design to an extent, but the real test was when you got here and you put the structural engineer and the architectural design together.
Yeah.
But you're doing that virtually now, so you're kind of building the building and coordinating it in a virtual world before you do it for real out here, which cuts down on mistakes and errors.
Exactly, and we've pretty much cleared the basement now. The cores are pretty much done, and obviously the steelwork, so we're well ahead of the construction going out on site.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, we realised that there was going to be difficulty with people working on the model at the same time because everyone would be from home. So we looked at the BIM 360 docs and design system, and it allowed all the designers and trades to put their models on there in a live working environment.
This means that everyone, including those working from home, can track changes to the models and ensure the right work is happening in the right areas. Also from Autodesk, Navisworks and BIM 360 Glue were used to combine models together and give the wider team easy access to them in the cloud. On the ground, BIM 360 lets the team on site verify progress by filling out digital check sheets and attaching photos. There's even going to be a tag and track system where all elements arriving to site are given barcodes so they can be quickly located at any time.
I guess the million-dollar question is, has it made it easier? Have you had less errors on site, or has it been smooth?
I would say, yeah, we haven't had any issues that I'm aware of out on site at all, so it's all going well.
With its use of modern methods of construction and advanced tech, 40 Leadenhall Street is now rapidly rising from its complex foundation and motoring towards its 2023 completion date. Far from simply being the newest member of London's Skyscraper Club, in the wake of the pandemic, the project represents the first in a new age of tall buildings in the city, one where appeal is everything.
So that's all from me down here at this awesome construction site. This video was made possible by Autodesk. You can learn more about that at the link below. And as always guys, if you want to get more incredibly cool stuff like this, make sure you subscribe to the B1M.